We begin tonight with breaking news. Tonight in Troy, 4 bodies have been found inside a basement on 2nd Avenue.
Police say the people were murdered. News 10 ABC's Lauren Linder is live right now at the scene. And Lauren, what can you tell us at this point?
Lydia, we don't know that many details. Troy police are releasing few at this time, but what we do know is that 4 people were found dead in that basement apartment of that building right over there. Captain Dan DeWolf tells me that they were called to the scene around 12:50 this afternoon to 2nd Avenue when the property manager called to tell them he found 4 people unresponsive in the basement apartment.
It's horrible. I feel bad for the families.
Jason Fenton stunned, learning 4 people were found dead across the street from his home in Troy, a place he's lived for nearly 20 years. He just got back after being away for the holiday and tells me that kids around 10 to 12 years old live in the building where it happened.
When I left on Friday, there were kids playing outside, playing in the snow. I can only hope that it didn't involve them.
Troy police aren't releasing the ages or genders of the victims at this time. So far, they tell me they were called to this home, 158 2nd Avenue, around 12:50 Tuesday afternoon. When the property manager called to tell them, he found multiple people unresponsive in the basement apartment. When officers and medics arrived, they found 4 people dead.
Unfortunately, it's horrible, terrible, sad, especially at this time of year that there's 4 deceased folks in there.
Captain Dan DeWolf says all of the deaths appear suspicious, and they're investigating them as homicides. State police are assisting.
We're going to do everything we can to look into this and get to the bottom of what happened here.
Most of the people that live here are single families.
Fenton looks forward to getting answers because he says his neighborhood is generally quiet.
They're trying to make it Troy better.
But as he waits, he's going to make sure to keep his eyes and ears open at all times.
Until they know who did it or was behind it, you know, nobody can really be safe in this neighborhood.
This is a News 10 ABC breaking news alert.
As promised, here's that press conference from Troy Police Chief Tedesco right now.
Robert Patnode, commanding officer of Troop G. Lieutenant Robert Appleton, who's working with us from New York State Police Major Crimes. The 4 deceased persons in the apartment ranged in age from 5 years of age to 36 years of age. The victims were a boy, 11 years of age, a girl, 5 years of age, and 2 adult female, ages 22 and 36. But the names of the deceased are not being released at this time, pending further notifications to family. I don't need to speak about the horrific events that took place in that apartment, especially dealing with children. And we are certainly appealing to anyone in the community that would have any knowledge of what may have transpired there to contact us as soon as possible.
We continue to follow the latest details on the quadruple homicide in Troy.
And we have team coverage. News 10's Ayla Frone standing by with reaction from the community.
But right now we want to begin with News 10's Anya Tucker, who has the latest on the investigation, joining us live from Troy. Anya?
Well, good afternoon. It is certainly a very sad afternoon here in the community of Lansingburg. I'm standing outside the home where police say they found the body of a woman, her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's children. Now, earlier today during a press conference, the chief of police talked about the savagery of this crime.
After being in this business for almost 42 years, I can't describe the savagery of a person like this. I don't know of a word that can say it.
Chief James Tedesco said he would not yet release the identities of the victims pending family notification, but he did offer some information.
The victims were a boy, 11 years of age, a girl, 5 years of age, and 2 adult female, ages 22 and 36.
The chief says the women were in a relationship with one another and lived with the children in the basement apartment at 158 2nd Avenue. He refused to release the cause and manner of death, possible motive, or even the weapon used. He did say that the bodies were discovered Tuesday afternoon just before 1 o'clock by a property manager who was asked to check on their welfare. Once inside, he called 911.
Our caller reports 3 people. Caller states with their hands bound behind their backs and not breathing.
I don't think there's any doubt that someone that committed a crime of this magnitude is capable of anything. But we do not believe it was a random act. We do not believe there's any imminent danger to the community.
However, one of the community pastors attending the press conference did not agree that the threat of violence had disappeared.
Until they catch whoever did it, apprehend whoever did it, then there are certainly reasons to be fearful. We don't know who did it.
We're talking about the tragic taking of 4 lives here. You know, I can only ask that if you know anything at all, even if you think it's insignificant, but you feel it's something out of the ordinary, please call us.
Of course, during this press conference, we of course asked the chief of police, do they have a suspect or a person of interest? He said right now they are speaking with many people. It's a very fluid situation, but so far they have not been able to narrow it down to a suspect or suspects. Live in Lansingburg, Anya Tucker, News 10, ABC.
Thank you, Anya. And police are asking for any help from the community as they continue to investigate these murders. And the community also searching for answers.
Our Ayla Frone continues our team coverage and joins us live from the Troy Police Department with the latest. Ayla.
Well, obviously a tragic loss of life has people here in the community reeling tonight as Troy police continue their investigation to find out who committed this crime and why. People I talked to in the community say they're especially disturbed by the loss of life of those 2 children. Horrific, tragic, and unimaginable, all words being used to describe the quadruple murder scene in the basement apartment of this 2nd Avenue home, leaving community leaders like City Councilman Mark McGrath with more questions than answers.
How something like this could happen, what would drive any individual or individuals to attack children like that.
Among those slain, a 5-year-old girl and an 11-year-old boy.
Somebody did such a violent, horrific act to a child. People are a little bit on edge.
One of those people is Tim Hardgrove, who lives just down the street.
Getting a little bit too close to home.
He wants justice for whoever did this.
Catch the people that did it, string them up if they're killing kids.
Kids Frank Mabin knew personally, specifically the young boy who he coached in baseball and basketball at the Troy Central School District.
Outstanding young man, very coachable, listened, had the discipline, wanted to be a leader, wanted to be a part of everything that was right.
No identities being released of the 2 children, their mother, and another woman who were also found dead inside the home, but a call being put out to the community to disobey whatever street code may exist.
When you're dealing with violence in children, that code is broken. I mean, really somebody needs to come forward.
And the people need to cry out, and whoever is out there that know anything, they need to stop respecting the street code and give up their information.
And asking the person or people who did this to come forward.
There's no justification for it. I mean, give yourself up. How can you live with yourself doing something like this?
My sister was supposed to be with me and her children, all 3 of them, for Christmas. And I got robbed of that. I got robbed of that opportunity.
It's a tragedy that rocked this quiet street. 4 people, Shantae Myers, her girlfriend Brandy Mells, and Myers' 2 children, Shanice and Jeremiah, found dead, murdered in their home. Tonight, for the first time, the family speaks.
When I heard it, it just broke me.
Khalif Coleman, the nephew and cousins of the victims, visibly shaken.
Something got to give to Troy because this is trouble. This is hard.
It feels like somebody's ripped us to shreds, and we only have each other right now.
Shakira Symes planned to spend the holidays with her sister, niece, and nephew. Instead, Saturday would be the last time she spoke with them. And with the killer still on the loose, she's demanding answers.
If you know something that could help us, put the monster away who did this to my sister and her beautiful babies. You gotta say something.
For now, she'll look over her nephew, Shantae's son, 15-year-old Isaiah Smith, who in one day lost his mom and siblings.
I could tell you a million stories about my entire family, but this is not about them. This is about the answers that we deserve and we need.
And we begin with some breaking news this morning. I'm News 10 ABC's Mary Wilson. Thanks for being with us. 2 people have been arrested in connection to the quadruple homicide in Troy. We understand that one of them, Justin Mann, has been arraigned on 4 counts of murder in the 1st degree. That arraignment is going on right now in Troy City Court. We have cameras inside the courtroom as well as News 10 ABC's Lexi Nall. We will take that live picture as soon as it becomes available to us and bring you more on the identities of these 2 people who have been arrested as well as the charges they are facing. Some breaking news now. We now know the names of the two people arraigned and charged in that gruesome quadruple murder in Troy. This is Justin Mann here arraigned, and there's also James White, both of them charged with 4 counts of second-degree murder. We know the bodies of those 4 individuals, 2 women, 2 children, were discovered the day after Christmas, a gruesome crime, and the community has been waiting here for answers in this case, and finally they're getting some. 2 arrests made. Right here you see walking in, that is James White. He too has been charged with 4 counts of second-degree murder. No bail for either of these men. We want to get back out to our breaking news this morning. 2 men charged with murder for the horrific deaths in Troy, that quadruple homicide. Let's go back to News 10 ABC's Lexi now live in Troy this morning. Hi, Lexi.
Hi, Mary. That's right. We now know the names of the 2 men who are being charged in connection with that quadruple homicide in Troy. Those men are Justin Mann and James White. Just about an hour ago, they were arraigned right here behind me in Troy City Court. They are both now facing 4 counts of murder in the second degree and are remanded to Rensselaer County Jail without bail. Judge Meyer was presiding today, and Rensselaer County District Attorney Joel Abelov was also in the courtroom with those co-defendants today. The courtroom was absolutely packed. I mean, standing room only. We are told that there is a press conference today at 11 a.m. at the Troy Police Department. News 10 will attend. The hearing is now set for January 4th. Again, these 2 men are facing charges in connection with all 4 murders.
This is a News 10 ABC special report.
Good morning, everyone. A press conference getting underway momentarily on the 2 arrests made in that quadruple murder case in Troy. Earlier today, Justin Mann and James White were arraigned in Troy City Court on 4 counts of second-degree murder each, 1 count of first-degree murder. The bodies of 2 women and 2 children were discovered the day after Christmas. 22-year-old Brandy Mells, her partner, 36-year-old Shanta Myers, and Myers' children, 5-year-old Shanice and 11-year-old Jeremiah. We want to head straight now to Troy Police to listen in.
Justin Mann, age 24, of Hamilton Street in Schenectady, were arrested. Both defendants were located at 627 Hamilton Street in the city of Schenectady. Both defendants were taken into custody without incident. They were interviewed, arrested, and transported to the Troy Police Department, where they were arraigned this morning in Troy Police Court. Both defendants were charged with 4 counts of murder in the second degree and 1 count of murder in the first degree. I don't need to tell you how good it feels to have these 2 defendants into custody, and their arrests were a culmination of outstanding work